Very fine. Thank you so very much. You can see how I'm doing. You see me here in the moon, about 3 o'clock, and this is the 7. So I'm doing very well.
Well, my day starts with waking up for my normal salads, leave my house before 7 in the morning. If it's a Monday, we start with the principal officers meeting, which could take 2, 3 hours. After that, I try to accommodate as many visitors as possible between that time till around 3 or 4 o'clock. And as a policy, I want to clear my table before I leave the office any day. If I'm lucky, I close at 8. Days that I would be around to 10. Well, I'm not sure I've come across any because I did my analysis of, and I've been in this system for about 25 years. So I know the nooks and crannies of the university. I also know the sentiments of the university. So the issues are not strange. The major one that I've found really challenging now is that there's a dearth of manpower. Of course, we have not been able to employ for quite some time, but I'm sure we are surmounting the challenge because the policy of government has actually stifled the powers of the university, public universities, especially federal universities, to employ. Of course, there is also the challenge of funding, which I'm familiar with, which we are trying to also scale. Seriously, I do. I missed it, and I'm still struggling to come again and again so that I don't get rusty by the time the 5 year tenure finishes. It's not a matter of going back, I still do it, and I struggle to still come around once in a while. Lecturing in the first place was because there's no accident in God's design. It was actually divine. After spending a few years here, after interacting with a number of vice-chancellors, I thought I could also add value in the office of vice-chancellor University of Ilorin. I also believe that as a lawyer, I am positioned to appreciate relationship with people. I'm positioned to analyze issues in a more pragmatic way. And I believe that I have so much to offer by way of value addition to the University of Ilorin. My philosophy is that you cannot over consult, and therefore I have it at the back of my mind that whatever it is that I have as my goal, I need to consult and allow people to buy into it, whatever it is that I intended to do, because the university is run on committee basis. You involve as many people as possible so that you can get the best out of the people, and the implementation will be a lot easier. So for me, it's not difficult to identify the need for consultation, the need for communication of your ideas, and the need to seek buy-in of your colleagues. We have been number one in the past, and we will get back to number one record time within our administration by God's grace. And we have also put in place machinery because the ranking process is a procedure, and the matrix and the metrics are clear and stated. So the good thing is that you can sit down and say, okay, if you want to be number one in Nigeria, you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is we have started working towards it, and we are closer to it than I can ever imagine. The University of Ilorin is a very unique university, and it is our hope that we will continue to engage ourselves in terms of students' engagement, in terms of staff engagement, in terms of sharing our views and our ideas. And it is our hope that even at the national level, we will get to a point that we'll be strike fatigued and won't have cause to even talk about Union is no longer joining side because there won't be strike generally in Nigeria. That's our hope. really unfortunate that we still have challenges with electricity. And like I told the postgraduate students, averagely we spend about 120, 130 million naira on electricity monthly. So ordinarily we should not have any downtime. But the last few months had been challenging because we had two rainstorms that destroyed some of our facilities, electric and water. Of course, we tried to fix them, but you know that when you try to fix, there will be skirmishes, and we are talking about electricity. In the course of fixing electrical challenges, you have to switch off so that you don't cause casualties. And in the process, the students will feel this heat, the staff will feel this heat. But we are struggling because we are gradually moving from the normal conventional electrical support to some other sustainable development electrical model, talking about solar, talking about kinetic power, and all the rest. And that is what we are, because we believe that spending 130, 120 million naira monthly on electricity is not sustainable. So we believe that by the time we are half of the tenure, we will have actually graduated, because we want to start a systemic engagement of introducing this sustainable power regime into our facilities, so that in your hostels, in your faculties, you don't have to start to wait for either a generator to be put on or uh, NEPA, what is the IBDC to give you electricity, because we will power your facilities. And what we're doing is we want to be strategic about it. All new buildings in the university will now be powered by solar, so that at least the new ones will not have to go the old ways. The old ones will now be activating with solar gradually. But we have also tried to address that, because recently the water treatment plant was visited, and I'm not sure that that problem should still persist as at today, because I'm talking about 3-4 weeks ago when this was addressed. Do we still have it, the dirty water, even now? You know, the general saying is that the way you are dressed is the way you are addressed. Our dress code is strict because we believe that we are molding values of our students. We graduate our students only when they are certified to be good in character and in learning. And one of the major ways of identifying our uniqueness as a university is that we take care of simple, innocuous things that we think does not matter. That is our signature. And for us in the university, we believe that if our students dress properly, because when we talk about proper dressing, you will agree with me that there are some certain irreducible minimum of proper dressing anywhere in the world. And we cannot, on the pretext of right, on the pretext of identity, on the pretext of freedom, now expose ourselves to things that will eventually diminish us as a university. We have no apologies for our strict dress code. It is about culture, and every university should have its culture. Our culture is that we expect our students to be properly dressed, and we have no apologies. Thank you very much. I acknowledge the fact that University of Ilorin students ranks among the best in Nigeria and can compete favorably anywhere in the world. As late as just today, I've approved more than close to 1.9 million for a debate competition for our students, because we believe that interacting with others from across the world will not only benefit the students, but will also ultimately benefit the university, because whatever cross-fertilization of ideas that have been able to engender will eventually impact on our university. So we'll continue to support such engagements by our students. For me, I am a champion of disability rights. For all you care, our department won $80,000 from Osiwa on disability issues. So I am a champion of that right, and at every turn we continue to assist and make life more accessible, because for me disability is just a question of time. You may be able this minute. Today we this that was, as we before this interview session started, you understand there was an issue in the faculty of pharmacy, and somebody that is able in the by the time he or she came to work this morning is already having issues. So for me, it's something that will continue to create access, because we believe that it is not permanent, and it is something that should not debar anybody from attaining his or her goals in life. We must continue to identify our goals for coming into the university in the first place. And what is that goal? The goal is to be educated. Therefore, we should not allow anything to come between us and the attainment of that goal. Number two, we also believe that there are so many vices that is currently bedeviling our society. As students of the University of Ilorin, I want them to be the best and to continue to rate as the best. Therefore, we should avoid any form of vice that would derail that initial goal for which they are here. Because at the end of the day, righteousness exalts a nation. We want righteousness to exalt us as people. I have taken time to interact with our students. I've taken time to visit them in their hostels, taking time to visit them in their various faculties, and in spite of everything, I know that there are challenges in Nigeria, but for me, challenges are made for human beings. They should not, because of these challenges, misbehave. They should continue to strive to be the best they can, because at the end of the day, they must remember they are students of the University of Ilorin, the Better by Power University.